Hey, welcome to your midweek caring moment. Today we're talking about caring for someone who has dementia. So my name is Stephanie. I'm with Abundant Life Care Advocates, here to empower and equip you to care well for yourself and for your loved ones in end-of-life situations. So dementia is an umbrella term for lots of different cognitive decline processes. Could be from Alzheimer's. Most people know what that is, right? Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, Lewy bodies. It could be a vascular pathophysiology. There's others, but those probably cover most of them. But dementia as a whole is a type of cognitive decline, and it is a very difficult caregiving situation, let's say. So let's talk about caring for someone in that situation. The thing with caring for someone with dementia is it's often not their only diagnosis, right? So it can be very frustrating because it's like you have this person who has high blood pressure, and all of a sudden it's not just like taking blood pressure medicine. Now they're like, well, did you take it today? Or did you take the entire month's worth today? Or maybe they're starting to be paranoid, like, you're just giving me medicine that I don't really need and it's hurting me. So it makes what could be seemingly simple to treat very, very difficult. So yeah, it's hard. So to encourage you a little bit in it, I want you to know that you're not alone. The National Institutes of Health actually estimate that 1 in 7 people over the age of 71 have some form of dementia. It's a lot of people. So if you're caring for someone like that, you are not by yourself. There's so many right there with you. And it's like you hear people, I've heard people say anyways, like, it's fine if I get old as long as I have my mind, right? And that's a neat idea. It's just unfortunately not so often how it works out for people. So you're not alone, even though it can be very isolating. And one of the really beautiful things about I love about caring for the elderly, and especially people who have cognitive decline, is that they really teach us well how to spend nice quiet time. I read that from a book called Die Wise by Stephen Jenkinson. It's really a beautiful book about just how death affects our culture and how we look at it in our culture and his view on it. It's really a beautiful way of looking at it. But anyhow, he would talk about how we've lost the art of spending nice quiet time. And the thing with being with the elderly and with those with dementia is that you have the opportunity to do that. So I want to encourage you, because sometimes when you spend time with those who have dementia or are elderly or very sick, it can feel like there's so many things to do, right? But the reality is that the gift of your time and your presence, it's so meaningful to them. And I think that it's not just for them. It really is for you. I often find myself like walking away, like just being able to do that, I guess, take a deep breath and breathe a little easier. So I want to encourage you in that when it feels like you're not getting the things done because you're spending time with it, it's not wasted. So to equip you a little bit, I'm going to talk about something that you probably get tired of hearing me talk about, but having your end-of-life plans in order, it's just super important. And unfortunately, with a diagnosis of some type of cognitive decline, like, there might be medical treatments that help slow the progress of that disease process, but it's not going away. Like, once it's there, it keeps moving. And maybe it's slow, maybe it's a slow progress, but it is progress. And it's really hard to know when is the right time to make those type of plans. So I want to encourage you that the time is now. Your doctor might not bring this up to you. That's okay. Other people might say, like, you're nowhere near that. And that's okay too. I'm going to tell you, as someone who works with the dying, I'm going to tell you that from attorneys that I've talked to too, People wait too long. Because time just keeps coming, right? And time slips away from us. So it's easy to put this off. If you're waiting for some type of sign to tell you that it's time to do this, like maybe this diagnosis is just that. Like, get your affairs in order. I do link to a free website called Prepare for Your Care in the email that really walks you through planning for end-of-life care. And yeah, so I hope that's helpful too. I want to encourage you to get help and talk to your family about these diagnoses. I think that parents tend to want to keep this information to themselves, or they don't want to scare their kids. It's kind of embarrassing. They'd rather just not talk about it. But the reality is you're going to need help. Maybe you don't today, but you're going to. And so you need to let people know so that you're not alone in helping the person with a diagnosis. So find help. There's online support groups. My Facebook group is a place that you can hopefully find other people who are caring for others. We can bounce ideas off of each other. And I will do what I can to facilitate discussion there regarding that. If you are looking for in-home caregivers, a simple Google search will give you lots of options. My email is listed in the email if you would like help discerning that. I have quite a few, I have opinions on that and places to use, so I'd be glad to share that with you and my experience in those situations. I want to talk for a minute about communicating with someone who has dementia, because usually when somebody says something wrong, right, or is confused about a date or something, you're going to correct them. But the thing about caring with someone with dementia is that it's not really the point anymore, because it's not usually helpful. It's more frustrating than it is anything. I think I love it because it's this reminder that just to meet people where they're at. I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, and I believe that He does that for us. I believe that He meets us right where we're at. That's His grace. That's His amazing grace. That meets us right where we are. And in caring for someone with dementia, by allowing them to be in the space that they're in, you're extending that grace too. So, does it really matter when somebody's birthday is? Does it really matter what year it is? As long as they're safe, so be it, right? So play along. Just play along. It's okay. It's frustrating, I know. It's frustrating to see someone that you knew that was once sharp not get things straight. So grieve that loss and meet them where they are with grace and compassion. I think it's helpful to be gracious towards that. If you can think about how frustrating their day-to-day lives are, learning new things is very frustrating. If you get a new phone, it's like, how frustrating is it just learning the new platform that you have to figure out everything on, right? It's like that for them all the time. It's like for them putting their clothes on and tying their shoes and putting food onto a fork and putting it into their mouth. Like, can you imagine how exhausting? I just think that so often, like, you must be exhausted. You've got to think about this so much. So if you can keep that in your mind, it might help you in meeting them right where they're at a little bit more. I think just one more thing that I want to share about caring for people with dementia, and this might seem kind of backwards to meeting them where they're at, but you want them to be able to maintain their autonomy as much as they can, as long as they can. So that would mean it might take extra grace and patience from you, because you don't just want to reach over them and zip up their coat for them just because it's taking a little while. Like, I don't mean let them sit there and fumble and fumble and fumble, but I do mean allowing them to try a minute and encouraging them that, like, you can do this. Because reaching over and just doing it for them, that's not necessarily helping them. It might be helping you, but not really them. Not in the long run, when we're thinking we want them to maintain, again, their autonomy as long as they can, as much as they can. So if you can grant them the privilege of your patience and your kindness and not rush them to do the things and allow them to try to do it on their own, I think it's really important as caregivers that we give them that opportunity. I think that's enough information for today in caring for dementia. I hope that's helpful for you and that you'll share with people who maybe need it. Please reach out for support if that's something that you need. Yeah. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and blessings to you. Bye-bye.